Right. Well, no matter what you do, it's a positive result on your state, right? If you're in a negative state, it's going to be a positive result. No matter what you do, if you go in there, you're completely mindless, it's still going to get that positive result. But now imagine if I go into the gym, Brian, and I'm anchoring joy and happiness and achievement, fulfillment with my exercise, rather than going in and going, oh man, I'm going to the gym to escape something, right? I can go in and say, I'm going to go in there and think about a time when I felt joy, a time when I felt fulfillment or achievement or happiness. And I'm going to think about that the entire time that I'm exercising. And now most people who are highly trained athletes go, man, I have to be angry. No, you don't, right? No, you don't. Positive psychology will tell, any psychology will tell you that positive emotions are going to get you a better result than negative emotions. So, and again, I presented on this in health optimization. There's so much data that suggests anchoring that state, anchoring that emotion with your exercise, with being in the gym, is the most powerful way to train your brain, because when you're exercising, your brain becomes more plastic, right? What's plastic? Neuroplasticity, the growth of new brain cells. So when I'm standing doing nothing, neuroplasticity isn't always going on, right? Your brain's just in this default resting state. But if I exercise, my muscles start releasing something called myokines, which is things like brain-derived neurotrophic factor and nerve growth factor and IGF. Most people have heard of IGF or VEGF. All these growth factors that are released into your blood, and they also go to your brain. And it makes your brain more pliable, more receptive to learning. So if I can now go in and anchor all these positive emotions while my brain is this pliable thing, now I'm anchoring it and I can accelerate that even faster than if I were just trying to create this positive emotion at home. Meditation has a very similar effect. I don't think it's as positive, and I don't know, right? This is my speculation, because if you just look at the physiology of it, the muscles are releasing these, what's called myokines, circuitry enzymes, basically, that influence all the cells in the body, right? So if I get in that when I'm exercising, that I know is going to increase the plasticity of the brain, that's the best time to anchor anything, right? That's the best time to learn. That's the best time to anchor new emotions. So as soon as you're done exercising and during the exercise, you have this window where these myokines and your brain is just hyper responsive to anything you put into it. And I think that's something that people don't explore. Yes, you're going to get this positive result anyways, but imagine we could amplify that exponentially, right? Just by looking at, well, what are you thinking about when you're doing that? You know, are you dreading this next set? Are you thinking about pain being uncomfortable? Or are you thinking about pain being something that maybe leads to your goal? And that was something I was able to do toward the end of my career, was actually really take enjoyment in the discomfort, because I knew I was doing something great for myself. I knew I was taking a step closer to that objective. So rather than, most people feel pain and they think, oh, I don't want pain. Well, is pain bad? We put a definition on it as bad, but maybe it's just awareness. So if you put your hand on a stove and you get angry that you're in pain, or you get angry at yourself for doing that, why? So I say thank you, right? Well, I'm never going to do that again. So I want to say thank you, because that pain gave me an indicator that I shouldn't do that again. And the exercise is the same thing. Like maybe instead of saying, oh, I don't want to do that again, you say, well, I really like that. That's taking me toward my goal. And that's not an immediate shift. But again, like, do it for 30 days, see what happens. You'll have a big shift in your psychology.
It's so strange. Like if you go to like any normal mainstream gym, that's the last thing that anyone there is trying to teach you to think about.
Fitness is so new, right?
Yeah.
And this is what people don't realize. Like, muscle building is so new. The whole gym industry, like 30 years, 40 years, right? Like, it's a very new industry. So all this stuff is just being discovered. People have defaulted to this particular way of approaching it because of what has come before them, right? But it's not the way it's meant to be, man. Like most people, the fitness industry as it exists now is completely formed around the bodybuilders of the 80s and 90s, right? Yeah. Everybody saw those guys that, well, they train this way, therefore I should, right? Why? One, you're not built like them, right? Two, your emotions aren't the same as theirs. They trained angry because that's what worked for them. And maybe if you ask them now, they'd be like, oh man, I wish I didn't do that, right? But that's what we think we have to do, right? So which is very different than athletics. And a lot of the fitness industry is formed around athletics or formed around powerlifting. People think like, oh, you get angry. Maybe, like if I'm trying to lift something once, maybe anger helps because I'm getting this huge amount of sympathetic arousal. I'm getting this huge spike of epinephrine because I'm pissed off. That's great for one lift. That's gonna help you lift more weight. It's gonna help you lift that car off your child, but it's not gonna help you improve your fitness. If anything, it's gonna make it worse. So it's not gonna help you improve your health, right? So it's a different paradigm that needs to be separated. I'm not trying to do something once. I'm not trying to create a huge amount of stress. I'm trying to create a body and a brain that are integrated, and I love.